Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Oh man, I got a camera, a microphone, some headphones. Whew. Just kidding. It's been that long since I've gone live. Feels feels like it's been at least a month, damn near. Nonetheless, I'm happy to be back. I apologize for that absence, guys. I know I've been ghost on you guys, and it's not on purpose. It wasn't intentional. I've just been really busy, honestly, moving into a new house and everything, and that transitional period where you're trying to figure everything out, moving stuff and signing paperwork and all that. But I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. And I'm so pumped about this Dave Chappelle thing. I hope you guys get to see it. Just a heads up, there's going to be spoilers here if you haven't seen it already. It's great. It's so great. But the title of this comedy stand-up is Sticks and Stones. The title speaks for itself. What did we all learn when we were kids? Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. So what the hell happened? We have a society full of people that walk around hurt by words. Everything's offensive. And political correctness killed comedy. Leave it to Dave Chappelle to take a battering ram to this PC dogma. Comedy hasn't been funny for a long time. It's all just been anti-Trump, anti-conservative. Just, it's too woke. The woke brigade has taken on everything. And the cancel culture too. Cancel or boycott Olive Garden, boycott Home Depot, boycott Starbucks, boycott Chick-fil-A. People are tired of it. And Dave Chappelle understands more than anybody that the left and PC dogma has killed comedy. I mean, I grew up on Dave Chappelle and South Park and The Simpsons and Family Guy. Most millennials did. So what happened? Why is everybody so offended now? But I'm going to stick to this this comedy special because he made comedy great again. Plain and simple. He didn't tiptoe around his language. He left no stone unturned. He looked like the actual Dave Chappelle, not like somebody who bent the knee and conformed, like wondering who they're going to piss off next. And surprise, surprise, he didn't take one shot at Trump. He didn't even mention Trump once in there. And I was waiting for it too. It's an hour-long special. I was waiting. I'm like, damn, 42 minutes in, he hasn't even mentioned Trump at all. I thought he was going to make a jab at Trump. But pretty much what he did right out the gate was he talked about cancel culture and how Kevin Hart got canceled and how they railroaded his opportunity to host the Oscars. And Kevin Hart finally stood up to it, but then he went on an apology tour afterwards, which was his downfall because you never apologize to the mob. Never. It's never enough anyway, so why do it? But that's what Kevin Hart did. And he said, again, like I just said, guys, there's going to be spoilers. Thank you for the super chat, Dragon Master Gaming. Do you see Trump win 2020 or lose? Of course, I see him winning. But Dave Chappelle, okay, he started off talking about how Kevin Hart was damn near perfect, except for 4 tweets. 4 tweets that pissed everybody off. He talked about the alphabet community, how, you can't piss them off. You got to stay on their good side or you'll be canceled. He said that pretty much words don't mean anything. It's just words. People just decide they want to get offended by something. I've been saying this for a long time. They're just words, and then somebody had decided to attach meaning to it, right? And then people just get pissed off. They just follow the herd. They follow the herd, and then they get mad. He talked about Jussie Smollett too. And he said, black people, we supported Jussie Smollett with our silence because we knew he was lying. Just great stuff, man. I don't even want to ruin it for you guys, because if you haven't seen it yet, you're gonna want to, because it's really funny. The one thing that I don't like about the stand-up though is the lack of knowledge around gun control and the false, or not gun control, shootings, and the false narrative around the fact that mass shootings are not predominantly committed by white men, because the definition of mass shooting is 4 or more people getting shot. So there's more black mass shooters based on the definition than there are white people as mass shooters. And he said something great too about gun control and how that debate, he really stayed neutral, guys. He really did. But as it relates to the gun control, he said, you know what? All black people need to get guns, pretty much. He said, if you want gun control passed, all black people need to get guns, and then they'll pass it. He just, man, you guys need to check it out. But he made comedy great again. We've been needing somebody to stand up to the PC dogma. You can't say this, you can't say that. He said the F word, if you know what I mean. He said that quite a few times, and he said it with intention, like he said it in a certain way that he felt like would trigger people. And I'm just telling you, man. Malcolm said, I just pulled up Sticks and Stones on Netflix. Thanks, Mike. Let's hope Dave leads the herd down a new path. He has to, man. See, the thing about comedy is there's some realness to it. Comedians tend to tell the truth with a comedic overtone to it, right? That's why we're able to laugh at it, because it's true. A lot of what comedians say is true, but laughter diffuses tension. And that's why comedy is so important in our culture. But again, we don't have it anymore because the brigade, the woke left, the cancel culture, that I'm offended by everything all the time. Every word can be twisted into racism or sexism or bigotry. And Dave Chappelle is just tired of it. You know, I was thinking as I watched his Netflix special, I'm like, man, I grew up watching this guy. I have Chappelle season 1 and 2 on DVD. And when I watch those skits, like the Clayton Bigsby and what's some of the other ones? Rick James and Prince and all the other random skits that he had a skit about reparations too. I'm like, there's no way that could fly today. There's no way that could fly on TV, because that's how soft and snowflake the culture has become. So props to him for that. I really just think that it was needed, and hopefully more comedians will be brave and follow suit. Nobody wants to say anything on Twitter, really. I'm surprised that he's not trending on Twitter. I didn't see a cancel Dave Chappelle on Twitter, boycott him. I didn't see that at all. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means people agree with him, or they're too afraid to be the one to cancel Dave Chappelle. Because he's one of those people. I feel like most people like Dave Chappelle, so you don't want to be the one to be. You don't want to be the first person to take issue with it, because he's that cool of a guy. It's like, you cancel. What's next? Cancel Stevie Wonder? Like, people that generally are well liked, it's weird to see them get canceled. Let me give you guys some shout outs, man, because I feel like it's just been too long. I need to go live a lot more. I know what the F word is, Cody, but you understand why I can't say it on my YouTube channel. You understand that. I hope you understand that. It's sad that I have to self-censor. I have to, because if I said the word, I could get my channel deleted. Then what's the point if I couldn't do that? I could fall on the sword. Sure. Yeah, Mike didn't bow down. And I'm not really bowing down. I just don't use I don't use that language. Regardless of YouTube's terms and conditions, I don't. Because it does offend people, words like that. And I don't want to offend people, you know, especially as it relates to history. It's just like saying the N-word. I'm not going to say that word either. What's up, Angie Mac? There are two F words now. Yeah, there are. There always were, I guess. I hate to see where our society would be without comedy. We're already kind of seeing where society is without comedy. Comedy isn't even funny anymore because they continuously change language. All of the euphemisms and all, like California. Oh my gosh, San Francisco with their stupid newspeak. Someone who interacted with the criminal justice system. What? You mean criminal? Like they don't want us using terms like felon anymore. That's what I'm talking about. Used to be able to laugh at that kind of stuff. Think about what used to be on TV. For those of us that grew up in the 80s, I watched so many shows as a kid. Married with Children, friggin' what was that one? There's so many. They're not coming to me right now. But mainly, I watched a lot of stuff on Comedy Central. I watched Dave Chappelle, of course. I watched South Park. I'm surprised they haven't canceled South Park yet. I don't know how South Park has been able to survive because it's been on for like 20 years. The Simpsons finally got woke after all these years, and that's garbage. Futurama. There's all those what's that? Adult Swim. Adult Swim, I think, is on like Cartoon Network or something. The shows used to just be great, and now they're soft. Get woke, go broke, said Micro Mike. Me as a kid when the Jefferson, Sanford, and Sanford Son. See, I don't. That's before my time. But yeah, I love that, guys. I love that Dave Chappelle's trying to bring comedy back, make comedy great again. But let's get into some other topics while I got a nice little audience here. I appreciate everybody that watches. Shout out to all the new subscribers, which aren't many these days. I know I don't make a lot of videos, so some of that's on me, but some of it's on YouTube, not promoting, not pushing me around in the algorithms. Let's talk China. Okay, we're going to talk China and the Donald. Okay, this is hilarious. The way that they are pretty much wanting China to win the trade war so they can say, ha, told you so, Trump. They want the country to fail so they can blame it on Trump, even though they would fail too. China has been kicking our ass on trade, intellectual property theft. They've been spying on us, espionage. Remember, Dianne Feinstein had a driver that ended up being a spy, a Chinese spy. They've planted propaganda in local newspapers, like in Iowa, to try to interfere in the elections. They did that in the midterms, putting articles and ads or whatever in newspapers in the Midwest to try to turn the farmers against Trump, along with the media trying to turn middle America and the farmers, people impacted by the trade wars the most, try to turn them against Trump. So if you think about the trade war, doesn't China don't they have vested interests in waiting this out to see if Trump loses in 2020? Because they know if they get status quo Joe in there, he can just go back to that. Trump is the only president that's actually pushing back, actually standing up for America. What does that say? That we have a president who actually literally stands up to other countries and gets attacked for it by people in his own country. So I could see China, in conjunction with the media and with Google, trying to throw the 2020 election, because then they can go back to the way things were. But for now, Trump is seen as like a fly in the ointment because he's standing up to them. And for the most part, it looks like he's winning right now. China needs us more than we need them. So the way I see it, If they come to the negotiating table, cool. If we can get a deal done, better. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath right now because, like I said, I feel like they could be waiting to see if they can weather the storm, wait and see if Trump doesn't get reelected. Because, I mean, I feel like that whoever gets elected from the left, if it's Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, whoever it is, they're not going to prioritize that. They're not going to prioritize trade deals with China. But Trump is just killing it in that part of the world. Whether you're talking about standing up to China, the deal we just made with Japan, he brokered peace on the Korean Peninsula. Both of those leaders shaking hands was historic. And then, of course, Trump crossed over to North Korea. What? Any other president that would have done that, they would still be talking about it. They'd still be talking about it. They'd be talking about, man, we got to get this guy the Nobel Peace Prize. He met with Kim Jong-un. Nothing got done, but at least he was diplomatic. You know, think about it. Obama got the freaking Nobel Peace Prize for less. Didn't even know what he got it for. So I like that Trump is standing up to China. We'll see how it plays out. I think they're going to wait. They're going to try to hold it out. And Google, the way Google helps China oppress its citizens, here's what I don't get. Google's under our jurisdiction. Why can't we regulate them? At this point, we need to do something. It's an American company, but they're helping China restrict the access of information to its citizens. Doesn't make any sense. And they've already said they're going to try to manipulate our election to prevent another Trump situation. So China, Google, mainstream media, all working against Trump, but somehow he's still winning. What else? I got some stuff written down here. What else is going on? Biden. Oh my gosh. This Joe Biden thing, it went from funny to cringy to painful. It's hard to watch anymore. This man is rapidly declining. He is falling apart before our very eyes. How did he go from making a gaffe here or there? We all make gaffes every once in a while, but not every other day. The man doesn't know what country he's in. He thought he was the vice president back in 2017 still. Poor people or poor kids are just as smart as white kids. I've lost track, honestly. There is no way this man could be the front runner. I see that he dropped in the polls, apparently to third place. But I don't believe the polls. I didn't believe it before that. I know he's the artificial front runner, especially now that Kamala Harris got knocked down. He's the artificial front runner because he's the only one that's moderate. His political views are moderate compared to everyone else. And he's got the name recognition. He's familiar. So that's the only way. That's the only way that they have a shot is with Joe Biden, because he could still probably win over people in the Rust Belt. But it's like Weekend at Bernie's. They're going to drag this guy to the finish line. And we're still in primary season. It's a long way to go. Could you imagine what his mental capacity would be after taking the White House? That would be in 2021, the beginning of 2021, right? January or something like that when they have the inauguration. Imagine his inaugural speech. He's struggling right now. You're telling me he's going to be better off mentally sharp in a couple years and then a 4-year term? That's crazy. This dude he's finished. His mind is gone. His mind is no longer with him. But they're still propping him up. Oh, Joe's cool. He's got some pep in his step. He's perky. Man, you could be kidding me. Now, speaking of Democrats and the left, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard apparently doesn't qualify for the upcoming debates. I think it's September. And it's kind of interesting that it's right after she took Kamala Harris down a few pegs. She told the truth. She's anti-establishment for the most part. Never mind the fact that she is still pretty much on the left. That's not important. I know a lot of you guys are like, Mike, she's a gun grabber. She's still a socialist. It doesn't matter. That's not even the point. She's principled. She at least believes in what she stands for, right? She's sane. She's somebody that you can have a conversation with. And who knows, her views might evolve over time. She's young. If I can vote for Democrats back in the day and then be a Trump supporter today, why can't Tulsi Gabbard or someone like that evolve over time as they get older? Especially now she's kind of being red-pilled. She's seeing that, yeah, even though I'm on their side, they're still kicking me out because I'm outside of the mainstream. So she's experiencing how censorship plays to the hands of the far left. She's not far left in that regard. They obviously don't think she's that far left, so she must not be that far left. But she's someone like her, someone like kind of Andrew Yang. No, never mind, not Andrew Yang anymore. I thought he was kind of cool at first, just a sane guy. But then he started going down that path and start spitting establishment talking points. But not Tulsi. You know, that's why I say they're just trying to shrink the Overton window. It doesn't matter if you are on the political left or right. If you're not spewing the mainstream talking points and going along with the mainstream narrative, you'll get silenced. So she's pretty much the Bernie of 2016 now. And I would be surprised if she does end up qualifying for the debates, because I don't know when everything has to be official by for you to qualify, but it's out in the open. They don't even care anymore. They don't care that we know that they're corrupt and shady. The DNC is corrupt and shady. Everybody knows it. But it wasn't even on our radar until 2016. And now they're just putting it in our face like, yeah, Tulsi doesn't qualify, even though she reached 2% polling in all these different polls. Doesn't matter. She doesn't qualify. They're not official polls. I think that's it for that. Tulsi Gabbard. What else is crazy that's going on? Let's talk about our dramatic dinosaur media and their stench of desperation to stay relevant and to boost their ratings. They dug this grave themselves. I don't care. But they're using so much hyperbole now. It's just crazy. Trump has killed as many people as Stalin, Mao, and Hitler. What? Like, who? I get it. Most of them are script readers. There's no way that was on the teleprompter. They had some guest on. I think it was CNN, actually. You know, I don't watch the mainstream media. I just look at the clips online. To compare Trump to Stalin, Mao, and Hitler. That's so dishonest, guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're seeing it now. Trump is so right about the media. He was right about New York Times. He's right about CNN. They're fake news. That's the most obvious in-your-face fake news. You know, doused in hyperbole. Trump is responsible for as many deaths as Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. And then Brian Stelter just sits there with a straight face, like, yeah. It's just when you think they could reach a new low, they just go lower. They just continue sinking and sinking. Oh, wow. Somebody's talking about something that I can't repeat. This is probably already going to be demonetized just because that's how YouTube rolls. Trump hasn't killed one person. Obama killed hundreds of thousands. Right. I saw a meme earlier today. Trump isn't invading countries. He wants to buy them. So let that sink in. We still are not in a major war. They got their fingers crossed for a recession so they can say Trump did it. Look, Trump ruined our economy. It's like, not so fast. I thought it was Obama's economy. Hold up. It'd be Obama's recession, right? Right? If we go into a recession, it's all Trump's fault. But if the economy goes back up after that, oh, Obama's economy looks like it rebounded nicely. Sweet. That's how they roll. Someone said, hold on. Trump is responsible for my smile. Speaking of smiles, you see these? You see these pearly whites here? I haven't been drinking fluoridated water for like 2 years. I don't even give my dog fluoridated water. My public service announcement to you guys is stop drinking fluoridated water. Get yourselves one of those filters, not the ones at Walmart. Those will filter out minerals. Those will basically just make your tap water taste better. But you got to spend decent amount of money online to get one that actually filters out fluoride. Fluoride ruins your brain, period. And even if it didn't ruin your brain, it doesn't need to be in the water. Who decided, hey, let's dump this chemical in water and then flow it into everyone's taps to drink? I mean, the study came out. It's linked to low IQs, which totally goes against the top associations that are bought and paid for. The American Dental Association, like, fluoride whitens your teeth. I'm like, no, my teeth are so white, they have privilege. I don't want to hear it. But stop drinking fluoride. If you guys are drinking fluoride, or if you think you're not drinking fluoride because you bought a filter at the store, that doesn't mean that you're not drinking fluoride. You probably still are. And even some of the ones that claim to take out fluoride, there's still trace amounts in there. And I don't know how to measure for it. Obviously, I guess you just have to see how awake you are, if your pineal gland is open or not. The one I have is, what's it called? Aqua Gear. If you mail back their filters, they, like, once you replace the filter, if you mail back the little insert after it's done, ran its course, they do something with it. I forget what it is, but it's good for the environment. So I would say find a good company like that. Most bottled waters have fluoride. I agree. I think so.